Lamplight City is another adventure game released this year that, while it may use the same style and aesthetics that we see from a lot of the adventure genre, especially independent developers, its unique story and premise does give it an interesting hook. And because this is an adventure game, I'm going to try and keep things as quick as possible for this episode here. But the concept is we play as Miles here, the man on the left, who, after his partner was mysteriously killed, he is now being haunted by the disembodied spirit and is basically being driven insane to try and solve the murder mystery. All the while, the game itself takes place in a steampunk-esque take on the 19th century, where you'll be dealing with automatons, dirigibles, and all manner of strange machinery, but there's still the elements of indentured servitude, or aka slavery, going about here. And the story does play a role, or does shine a light on that, despite the sci-fi elements to it. But the general premise of Lamplight City is that each chapter of the game is its own case with Miles here. He'll be talking to his ghost friend, as you can see as well. And the cases themselves vary from murder to kidnapping, all that really good stuff here. And to solve the case, you'll have to investigate people, solve light puzzles, and pick up any miscellaneous thing that you think of that could possibly solve a future puzzle. Now, similar to titles such as Unavowed and the Blackwell series, the actual adventure puzzle design is kept relatively light. I would say this game is a step above something like Unavowed, but don't be expecting Myst or very classic LucasArts crazy puzzles here. Now, the one thing that Lamplight City does that is very unique, which unfortunately I can't show you because it would really spoil the game, is how the cases play out. Instead of you just going about a linear set of solutions to find the culprit responsible, you can actually choose from different suspects. Now, obviously, one person is going to be the actual murderer or the criminal responsible, but you are free to decide just how much or how little Miles investigates into these cases. And trying to solve which person's doing what can take in the form of different puzzles. And as a clever take on the genre, you technically don't have to solve every puzzle in a case to move forward. Instead, once you've found enough information to either nail the main culprit or, unfortunately, let someone else be the patsy, you can turn in the case and the game will move forward. And a lot of the choose-your-own-adventure or multiple endings of Lamplight City fall into what you let Miles do. Do you try to get him out of this drunken or drug-infused stupor that he's in to become a great detective again? Or do you just take the easy way possible and just don't really care at all? And it's a very clever take on integrating the story choices into the gameplay. There's a case, again, I can't show you without spoiling it, where you could decide to either do the puzzle yourself or let someone else do it for you if you just want to focus on the storytelling and not have to mess around with something. And the game does feature some hard choices where you must decide how far to push someone, and if you do anger or piss them off, they're going to not help you out at all. And that could come at the detriment to one of the solutions or one of the endings to each case. With that said, as you probably can tell from what you've seen so far, Lamplight City is not going to be pushing things from an aesthetic point of view. I think it uses that adventure game maker or adventure game studio that we see a lot of developers use, so characters have that kind of stilted animation to it. It can sometimes be a little bit annoying waiting for someone to walk from one room to the next. And it does feature some of the trappings of adventure game design, such as knowing what you need to do, but you haven't hit the right trigger yet to get the right conversation or pick up the right item. But nevertheless, I like Lamplight City, and again, if you are an adventure game fan, I think this is a pretty good entry. I would like to see more developers play around with that idea of the branching narratives and actually have that impact the gameplay rather than it just be, quote unquote, he or she will remember that, or a choice that simply affects things for a short run and then we never see or hear from it again. So, with that said, I'm going to wrap things up here because, again, everything I am showing you is spoiling this game to some extent. But I'd like to thank the developers for giving me a press key to check out. If you'd like to pick up Lamplight City, it is currently available on Steam. And if you'd like me to take a look at your game in the future, please don't hesitate to get in touch. But otherwise, check back for daily discussions on game design here and on Game Wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games. Until next time, have a good night. Before we get to the credits, just a quick shout out to the supporters over on patreon.com/GWBycer. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to check back for our regular streaming most nights at 9:30, 10 EST, and you'll find a schedule linked down below. For a collection of my writings as well as audio casts on design, you'll find that at game-wisdom.com. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at GWBycer. If you're interested in hanging out and talking about game design topics, we have a Discord channel with the basic tier open to everybody, and that is linked down below as well. If you'd like to support us on Patreon, it is at patreon.com/GWBycer. Your support can help to keep things going and growing, and you can earn rewards such as ad-free versions of our talks, votings for our specific Let's Plays and grab bag streams, and more. But that's it for now. Thanks again for watching. I hope you come back for more great discussions on design here and on GameWisdom.com, where we examine the art and science of games.